Pasina ZANU-PF, Pasina Mugabe, Pasina Mnangagwa, Pasina Grace Mugabe, Pasina Kasukwere, Pasina Mpoko. Right. The revolutionists of Zimbabwe have come again in contest of bring back Itai Dzamara. Itai Dzamara hasn't been brought back since the 9th of March. We are almost here on the 9th of April. It's now a month since Itai has been abducted. Where is he? Where did you put Itai Mugabe? The revolutionists are going to do a mass action to remove you from power. Your government is illegitimate. It's not a government of the people. It's not protecting the people of Zimbabwe. It is making the people of Zimbabwe to starve. Economic starvation, human rights starvation. Right. We are going to have another mass protest on the 17th of February. I'm saying this to all the embassies in the world of Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwean embassies are going to be sieged by revolutionists all around the world. London, South Africa, the consulate and the Pretoria embassy in the Cape Town are going to be stormed by revolutionists. London as well. Canada, Australia, Botswana, and Zambia, and many places. What the aim of the revolutionists is to make Zimbabwe a landlocked country, that Zimbabwe will not operate in the diaspora, that Mugabe should not come to the diaspora. We don't allow you here, even in the United Nations. Mugabe will protest and that you will not come. We don't want you here because you are not a legitimate government. You don't protect your people. It's full of thieves. All what you're doing is robbing diamond and doing your development outside in Malaysia. Where is your Pararenyatwa Mugabe? Your Pararenyatwa is in Malaysia, in Singapore. That's where your Pararenyatwa is. The Pararenyatwa of the poor people of Zimbabwe is in Zimbabwe. Why do Zimbabweans in diaspora, particularly in London, in South Africa, are storming the embassy and doing demonstrations? We are saying enough is enough. Enough is enough. Angry people of Zimbabwe, protesters, revolutionists of Zimbabwe, they say enough is enough. We are tired of politicians who have lied to Zimbabweans by the ballot. Zimbabweans have voted for these politicians thinking that there will be change, that there will be no regime again. And it is not happening. Now Zimbabweans are talking by themselves. They are going to remove the regime by themselves. Zimbabweans are going to leave it clean to look for their own politicians after ZANU-PF is gone. We are going to remove ZANU-PF from power by force. The charges we are giving you, the first charge is abduction of Itai Dzamara, bring back Itai Dzamara. The second charge is Mugabe is victims of evil, genocide, murderers, killing, slaughters, atrocious, burning people alive, feeding crocodiles and lions with the living people. That was in Gukuraundi. And in 2008, 2005. The same way we are afraid to all those people abducted. Forced displacements from your houses. You called it Operation Murambatsvina. That's what you did in Korea to train people to do Gukuraundi, train people to do Murambatsvina. Zimbabweans have said enough is enough. Refugees and asylum seekers throughout the world. We have got refugees and asylum seekers throughout the world. They have run away from asylum, economic immigrants and political immigrants. They have run away from their country, Zimbabwe, in search of good life. Enough is enough. Up to today, we have got Comrade BT doing resignation from the regional, from Changai, and saying he's quitting politics and he's going outside to live in America to look for good life because it's tired. People have been tired to fight with you, Mugabe. It's useless to fight with you, Mugabe. You can't come out of power. Now, how do we remove you from a chair? Mugabe, you cannot hear words of people when they say, come away from the chair. What do? We have to take the chair by force from you, to drag the chair from ZANU-PF. By force, the people, angry people of Zimbabwe have said. Tribal and racial ethnic cleansing, you are by farms grabbing and the killing of white people in Zimbabwe. All those white people, their ancestors are in Zimbabwe. They are also Zimbabweans. Mandebele people came from South Africa a long time ago. They are Zimbabweans. The Shona people, they come from Guru Squad there. And they came there and they are Zimbabweans. No freedom of expression in Zimbabwe. Demonstrators and protesters become criminal offense. Citizens become brutalized by their human rights for human rights activity. Riot police storm and beat up people. So people in Zimbabwe cannot protest anymore. They cannot do anything. Why? Because you, Mugabe, you are putting fear in people, killing people. Now the people, if enough is enough. We are coming. We are no longer doing it through politicians. We are doing it through ourselves. Total destruction of the economy, unforgivable betrayal of the people of Zimbabwe, etc. Denial of Zimbabweans in diaspora the right to vote. Denial of Zimbabweans in diaspora the right to have dual citizenship. All that our grievances. I've got many more of a lot. But also I come on our frustrations to the international community, which is turning a blind eye to Mugabe's evil acts or deeds. What's that? Not listening to the people of Zimbabwe's cries and plights. This is the international community, United Nations, EU, SADC, AU, Amnesty International, Commonwealth. We're crying for you and we've got frustrations. We've got some other governments which are cooperating with us. Australia government, USA, they cooperate in the search of Itai Dzamara. Britain, we can't see you cooperating with us in the search of Itai Dzamara. Leave us and we close the embassy of Zimbabwe in London. South Africa, leave Zimbabweans to close the embassy of South Africa in South Africa by Zimbabweans. Victims of Zimbabwean refugees and asylum seekers to silence them. Asylum seekers being taken to Zimbabwe forcibly. That should stop because there is abductions, there is killings. It's not a legitimate government whereby you are taking people there. We opt for an exile government if indeed Tsvangirai come and join us. BT, he's come back, form the government here. We are blaming the international society for trading and financing the brutal regime that has not respect of human rights whatsoever. In failing to bring Mugabe and his brutal regime, ZANU-PF governments to the justice, ICCJ, for pandering to Mugabe's false demands that he does not like elections observers during all elections. We need United Nations observers in there. But it's not happening. You listen to Mugabe, who people want to remove, and you listen to him during the election, the important time. What is the international community doing for Zimbabweans? We have seen in Ivory Coast United Nations intervening and other countries intervening in Sudan. The legitimization of Mugabe's regime, e.g. Zimbabwean embassies, those are not legitimate. Zimbabwean embassies all over the world are not legitimate because it's not a government. It's a brutal regime which should not be understood and accepted. So their embassies should not operate in the diaspora. We Zimbabweans, we have spoken. Enough is enough. Also, I'm going to tell you our demands. The revolutionists of Zimbabwe. Revolutionist is any person who is angry of being oppressed by Mugabe. Is a revolutionist. Our demands are the abduction of Mugabe and his long-failed brutal ZANU-PF regime and governments, abduction is just leaving power, voluntary, leaving power. The other demand is that there be a complete closure of all illegitimate Zimbabwean embassies worldwide. That the British government and C.I.O must stop funding Mugabe and his brutal regime. That there be free and fair elections in Zimbabwe under the auspices of United Nations and only after Mugabe's abdiction and from power. No elections in Zimbabwe unless Mugabe is abducted, unless Mugabe has left power and his ZANU-PF have left everything vacuumed, the way it happened during the transaction of Rhodesia, Zimbabwe. Smith's regime government totally was stopped from functioning, and we had who's this Lord? Was it Lord? I'm forgetting. He came to be the president of Zimbabwe on that interim government, which had been formed by Britain to give platform for elections. That's what we want now. No elections when ZANU regime is on power. No. I salute you, people of Zimbabwe. I shall come and give you more of press release. The activity which is at the moment now is on the 17th of April. It will be a Friday. Siege of the Zimbabwean embassies all around the world. South Africa has coordinated, UK has coordinated. We are waiting for other comrades to join in the revolution to landlock Mugabe. I salute you, people of Zimbabwe. Be always listening to the press release. Thank you. Martin Chinyanga, a revolutionarist, Martin Chinyanga da William. Aluta continua. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.